What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. We're back with another Market Watch today, and the first thing I want to say is I highly underestimated the power of Torrential Tribute in Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss, already a pretty strong deck. It's pierced top cuts because of its kind of invincibility to every hand trap besides Reaper. Like, it's good against Ghost Ogre. Ash really doesn't do much to it. But, man, does Ghost Reaper really hurt it. But a lot of people don't put that Dante in their extra deck for Reaper right now. And Torrential's really good in its resource game. You have Dante, Rhino Warrior, you've got Seer, Graph. You have so many cards that just work so well with Torrential. And if they have a Dante with a Graph behind it, Torrential's such a great tool. Now, the best counter argument that I can find to this card is any card that Light Stage can lock down is a bad card in the upcoming format, so you might want to consider that. But having 3 of these backing against Burning Abyss, it feels really powerful against any non-Trickstar deck, and the prices for any nice copy have gone up considerably. You might want to consider, if you don't already have a playset of commons, just picking yours up now. We have a low amount of sellers, but some decent quantities in the common sections, and there's quite a few different commons, but finding them near mint, since it's an older card, can be rough. And pretty much anything that was nice, all the secret rares have over doubled in price, so it's up to you. I would wait on those variants. They might go down over time, but if you're looking forward to Burning Abyss, the Burning Abyss Link monster is coming out in the future. You'll want a playset of this card, and depending on how much of a slave you are to the rarity game, you might be paying a little extra now if you weren't ahead of the curve, unless you want some of these really nice. I actually really like platinum rares, so I'm not even gonna jar it, but it's actually under the market price. That's really cool. You'd have to find other cards from these sellers though to nab those ones, you know what I'm saying. Next up, the artifacts. The artifacts have been going pretty crazy in price for Moral Attack and Moral Attack alone. That's how you know it's kind of a shallow buyout, that the buyout's not real, that its insane price isn't deserved. $7.39 before $8. It's been sticking above $8 for a bit for the original version, and then we see around $7 as well for this version, and then on eBay $9 is the lowest one. Here's my thought on this. If you didn't already have Moral Tax, just hold off on this price. It's going to go down from here. I get it only has 2 printings, but Scythe is the superior card. And Scythe is what I would be getting now because it's still at its price that it usually demands and holds. It's over here sitting at the $4 mark, $4.70 mark where it usually is. And then Sanctum is actually below its market price on all fronts. So that's kind of how you know it's shallow. People are just getting the Moral Tax to resell, and they're not really going for the other pieces. And I get a lot of people have invested in Sanctum. Like, there's huge quantities out there, but man, it really is holding its own line, and on all versions. So there's not really much going on with this, but I would get it now because unlike Dimensional Barrier, Scythe shuts off the entire extra deck. Scythe is a very good card when you're going first. Second, you'd have to play the break the board game and then set up a Scythe to stop them from building the next board. But going first, it's a really good card that's low investment onto the field, so getting evenly matched doesn't hurt that much. And I just find that I don't know how many people are going to tech in extra Moral Tax into that engine, or how seriously that engine is going to be taken. It's probably the best in Paleos, I would guess. And tell me what decks you're excited to play extra Moral Tax in, because I'm not really sure how far people are going to take this. And we see Scythe over here is, you know, still holding its point that it's been actually a little bit under on the ultra rare version. The ultra rare somehow cheaper than the Megaton Supers. Usually the Ultra spikes almost double the Super whenever it does spike. So again, considerations to get yours now. There are low quantities of them overall. A lot of people holding off listing them probably. And this is the best card in the engine. I get there's a high quantity thanks to Battles of the Legends Light Revenge, but don't get caught without yours in case you do decide to run it. It's a great side deck, if not main deck, and hope to win the dice roll. But when you're going first and you know you're going first, it's a really good engine. I get it has the brick pieces, but it's good, boys. Solemn Judgment still up there. I'm mainly pulling this up to note that A, the gold is somehow still under quote-unquote market price, kind of. Well, actually, it's floating around the near mint. But the main thing to note here in sales rate, if we go to best selling on it, is, well, that was weird. Let's redo Solemn Judgment there. The common is king on the sales rate and is now flexing at over $4 on TCG players. Getting harder and harder to find a nice Solemn Judgment. This is mainly because a lot of the newer players didn't open up packs that had Solemn Judgment. So even the common is flexing. It is up there in price and in sales now. You're gonna want to have a copy of Solemn Judgment. I think if you wait and cool off, people that are playing Hot Potato, it'll go down for some versions, and other versions will just continue to go up because of the low quantity. But if you're okay with a less wanted quantity, it's going to be like Snatch Steal. Remember Snatch Steal? Definitely a card you wanted to have, and it spiked immediately, but then there's so many copies of this card, it just comes on down. That's what's going to happen with your Solemn Judgments. So save yourself some money, hold on, you'll be fine. Talking about the other Solemns, Solemn Strike did receive a little boost, maybe that Counter Fairy hype along with Solemn Judgment. The Ultimate Rare did peak up a little from its price, and the secret's not really going much anywhere. It's $1, 70 cents above market price. And I really wanted to note that the Super Rare actually continuously, I watch Solemn Strike a lot because it's a card that I've speculated would go up. There's always like a seller that comes in and lists a few way under the price of the next one, like a whole $1.50. You could put it at $7 and you probably sell, but they come in a whole $1.50 under. So if you're wanting Solemn Strikes and you want the best price, just kind of sit on actually TCG Player and wait to snipe, because it's pretty darn good. And just to point out, yeah, Solemn Strike Ulti is also a bit up there from where it was, a couple of bucks on TCG Player. So people actually made moves on the ultis. Maybe with Solemn Judgment out now, they feel the need for a fully foiled out Solemn Brigade. Solemn Scolding is actually way down in price, and I do support this for the current meta. So it's a good thing to keep in mind of when to maybe get yours if you've been waiting on it. But Solemn Scolding, there's now a ton of other back row that you can have face down, and that means you can't activate Scolding until you've used it all. And with Judgment out, it kind of, you'd rather draw a Judgment, but you only have one. But you're just usually going to have so much more back row that this is really good only in the times where this is going to be your only back row or last resort. So I can see why it's been falling. We go over here to Mind Control, and I just wanted to point out that every single copy now is up there. I told people to get theirs now. The premium gold was still sitting at $1. It's now tripled. It's just crazy out here. And it's a really good card. I think Olympio just put a video up on this, if I'm not mistaken, talking about Mind Control and the impact it's probably going to have. This is one of the best cards in the link summoning formats. You just take it and you link summon. The restrictions on this card, very outdated, and I am just shocked they put it to 3. Oh no, you can't attack or tribute, but you can synchro, Xyz, link, like you can do everything. So it's even more powerful in mirror matches. But it's going to be really, really good for link summoning. I'm trying not to sneeze, sorry. Next up, we've got the Extreme Force Fallout from the Impact. Electromite continues to fall. Skull Dread sitting at 40. I would say that it had to match the price of Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. It was trying to still sit up at 50, but it quickly fell back down to 40 as Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles put it at 40. Yeah, you won a little bit. Remember, this was $18 at Sneak Peek, and then this was like $3. Everything else is about the same here. But what I didn't expect is how quickly the Mech Knight and Inspector Border has fallen. Inspector Border, a great card. Stun's going to be kind of that next level. Inspector Border's still sitting at 15 and then 17 over here. Of course, you can get 5% off, but you're actually winning on TCG Player, I believe, here. So it's pretty insane to me, but I get not everybody's going to want to play Stun, but a lot of Stun players have been waiting for this card. They're going to continue to watch it, and as it falls, probably towards 12, they're going to snap them up. Mech Knights quickly just fell. What happened there? It's not the best deck, especially with Grinder Golem getting hit to 1. Grinder Golem was a huge force for them. It would go to their side of the field, give a card for the column, and now it's pretty rough for them with Grinder Golem at 1. That was really what was going to stir the deck up, and they're going to have to find another way to play. Tell me down in the comment section below what you're going to do as a Mech Knight player if you had Mech Knights and you were kind of counting on that Grinder Golem shenanigans. Are you going to play like a way to search Grinder Golem? Are you giving up? Or did you never really rely on Grinder Golem in the first place? I actually really want to hear about the future of Mech Knights here as the prices fall pretty drastically. Isolde, you got some copies at $7.50 and then $8. I think this is an Ultra that's oddly going to hold its price for a bit because it's a really good generic warrior support. It's one of the best cards to come out of the set. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it experiences buyouts later. But that's kind of my review on what's happening with the Extreme Force prices. Everything else is kind of at just lower prices. Oh, it changed to best selling. Price high to low. We'll go back to page 2 just to check in to make sure nothing crazy's happened. Yeah, everything else is like $250 and below. Everything's really affordable, and I'm pretty happy that the set is affordable in that sense. A lot of the great cards were super rare. Konami actually did a great job for the players who didn't want to spend a lot. I'm surprised the Lightsworn Monster wasn't a secret. Surprised the Gem Knight Link wasn't a secret. They did a really, really good job, and I haven't heard a lot of people review and just praise them for, wow, they actually didn't like just boost the rarities insanely. The only things that really got hit were Skull Dread, which we knew would be secret, and Electromite, which it is what it is, and now it's not as powerful. So what do you guys think of this set in general? I want to hear you guys say if you think, you know, Konami did a good job with the rarities on this set or not, or if this is kind of bad for the market where we don't have a lot of chase cards in a set now with how the ban list was.